Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you too can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a really great day. I am a life and business transformational success coach and #1 international best-selling author and award-winning inspirational speaker and humanitarian, illuminating, educating, and inspiring, igniting people to find and embrace their life purpose. So I hope we can help you one day. If you have any interest, please visit us at LorianneCasdia.com. Today on Healthy Lifestyle, we're going to give you some verbal caffeine to light you up with possibilities. We have the wonderful Sherry Tucker, and also we have Karen Gorman. They're from WellLife Network. Wait to hear about this network. It is amazing what they do to help the underserved. A little bit about Sherry. Sherry's served as the CEO of WellLife Network since 2018. Founded in 1980, WellLife Network provides housing, treatment, care coordination, nutritional, and employment services to over 25,000 vulnerable individuals and families throughout New York City and across Long Island. Sherry's honored to lead a dedicated and committed team, over 1,300, in providing these services. And she has also authored a book, Unfinished Love: Walking by Faith Through Pediatric Cancer, and enjoys hiking, gardening, and the beauty of nature. Me too, Sherry. And Karen Gorman is the Vice President of Property Management and New Program Development at WellLife Network. Karen joined WellLife team in February of 2020 and has been focused on developing supportive housing and critical programs vital to the individuals that they serve at WellLife. Karen has over 20 years of experience in nonprofit world, both as a clinician and an administrator. She's licensed clinical social worker and possesses a master's degree in social work from NYU. And probably you like walking in nature as well.
I do.
There you go. Welcome to the show, Sherry. Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. I love what you do. You provide housing, you provide opportunity, you provide the affordability that sometimes we don't have all the time here in New York, as I gently say that. But let's discuss WellLife Network. Talk a little bit about the work that you do in more expansion than what I just told everyone.
Sure. We do just about everything when it comes to helping people live a well life. That's why we decided, we rebranded ourselves probably, it's been 6-7 years ago to WellLife Network, because we really wanted a name that personified or embraced all the different things that we do throughout the day in, day out, pretty much 24/7, 365 a year. We cover a multitude of populations, as you mentioned. We have a big group of developmentally disabled adults that we care for. We house them. We help them with their daily activities and learning new skills and employment and just making their lives the best they can be. We also work with those that have mental health challenges, all those, the full spectrum, from those that are very, very vulnerable and need 24/7 care. We have buildings and apartments and different living facilities for them, as well as those who, have had some kind of mental health challenge in the past, but just now need some care, some support on a monthly basis. And so they live in apartments throughout the city and Long Island, and we give them all the different directions and avenues to really fulfill their full potential as well. We do adults and children in the mental health. And then we have a large substance use disorder practice as well, where we help individuals facing those challenges, which we know has been just ravaging Long Island and New York City in many different ways. So it's a very important area for us to feel that we're providing the support for people to overcome those challenges, to really emerge on the other side, facing life in a much better position and able to continue on with their hopes and dreams.
Yeah, sure.
Add to that.
Yeah. Karen, have anything to add?
I think part of, the big picture for WellLife is really around recovery and independence, education and awareness. And that's really our big our big kind of philosophy for all of our services, for all of our individuals, we want all of our individuals to reach their highest potential, to live the lives that they want to live in the community where they want to live with their family and their friends, and really be integrated into the world. Individuals with, with disabilities or vulnerabilities want to live the same life that everybody else does. So we're just trying to create opportunities for that to happen.
Yeah, it's great. And the housing facilities, I know you're in the process of building one out by where I am, and it's a gorgeous design. It has all these different amenities. You think of everything. Plus you have this humongous, beautiful facility on 112 where you have a lot of medical treatments, doctors, and different tools available to your clientele.
Not necessarily medical. It's more the behavioral health side of the world. We do have a relationship with a group that does come and do some medical work with them. But for the most part, these are individuals that come to us, again, for assistance in the mental health arena. And this is where our children's services are based. We also do a lot of what's called care coordination, where we help people connect all the dots and really find the resources they're looking for that will help them to meet their goals. And so, yeah, we have locations. We have over 80 locations throughout Long Island and New York City. We cover the full gamut of, all areas and try to make sure that WellLife Network is there to serve, every individual that's looking for help that we can help.
And it's such a challenge, you must have a really big challenge because there's such a need for affordable housing, but expanding onto Long Island, how has that been?
Well, it has been fun. Let me say it that way. No, it's been very interesting. We have, as you said, we have a lot of buildings in place. These buildings are, as was explained, are just really designed to be as normalizing as possible. We want everybody to have a beautiful, safe, secure place to put their head down every night, and to have environments that are very relaxing and supportive of living a well life. So the latest one that we opened was in Queens, but now we're trying to expand that footprint into Long Island. We do have one building in Island Park in Nassau County. And that was put in place probably, it's been 8 years ago, I believe. And it was a journey to get that one in place. So we're now working to put one in place out in Medford. And it's been a learning experience for Karen and I. We've worked really hard at trying to navigate, and grateful for the support that you've given us in that arena. But, I think it's a stigma that's starting to lift. People have this fear of, oh, there's someone different moving into my area, and that's going to cause me problems. And what we try to do is reassure the neighborhoods and any businesses or anybody in that community that we have every interest in doing nothing but making their space even better. We come in and we try to lift up the area by providing beautiful spaces for people to enjoy, cleaning up. A lot of times the places we come into are not well maintained, or there's nothing there. So we really want to use that space to add value to the. Karen, what do you think? There's probably some other things you have in mind as far as our experience on Long Island so far.
Long Island, I agree with exactly what you said, Sherry. I think folks are starting to come around to this. I think I'm appreciative that it seems to be a pretty hot topic in the media these days, affordable housing on Long Island. So, and what we're proposing, or what we're developing, is a mix of supportive and affordable housing units. So it's an integrated community option. It is an option for low-income folks or folks that have not met their income potential yet, I'll say. So in other words, maybe, an LPN who wants to eventually be an RN may be eligible to live in affordable housing based on their salary, or maybe a senior citizen downsizing their home or is not able to kind of manage a larger home and needs to downsize. That's really kind of what we're looking at objectively across all of the island. And what we'd like to develop is inclusive housing for people from all walks of life that just want to live here. It's a beautiful place to live, but a lot of people can't afford it. And I feel like we're seeing future generations that are really struggling with the idea of actually living close to their parents. If their parents continue to live on Long Island, they're not going to be able to have the resources to maintain housing here independently. So that's across the board. Our Medford project in particular, which is moving along, is for 55 and over individuals for the whole project. And then it's about 67 apartments, and half of those apartments will be set aside for folks with disabling conditions. And the other half are just straight community beds that there'll be a lottery system for folks to enter to be eligible for those units. And we anticipate that building coming into service probably in about two years, maybe a little bit more, depending on where we stand with the funding rounds and applications that we have to put together in the next couple of months.
You mentioned that, some of the communities get a little anxious about the possibilities of this type of housing coming in the area, and that they're getting a little bit more accustomed to it. And I think part of that is communication, because a lot of times there's misinformation out there. And just the fact that you guys are very, very mindful of communicating with the neighborhood, with communicating with the towns, letting them know exactly what the intention is, bringing them in, letting them see all these facilities. And you really take care and own all your facilities. And I love that aspect. If you were in my neighborhood, I would be comfortable with that, because I know there's an accountability part there that has been missing out here. And I think that's where you get a lot of this shifting, because the people come, they drop something, and then they run away, and then there's no accountability. And now we have an eyesore in our neighborhood, and that's not what WellLife Network does. There's also this amazing shortage across the world of employment, workforce shortage. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but you're facing that as well. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's knocked us for a loop. I will say that, we emerged from the pandemic, and then we're facing a big workforce shortage. There's been such a shift in the way that people want to work. With the remote working becoming a reality over the pandemic, it really changed the perspective for a lot of employers, including WellLife Network. And we have tried to accommodate and allow people to provide, to be able to do hybrid working when possible. But in many cases, what we do, you need to be there. You need to be in person. We're caring for people, and you can't do that remotely in most cases. So we are in competition now with a lot of other organizations that can allow that, which has created some hardship for us. But we are trying to fight back by getting real creative on our benefits, by really trying to make sure people understand that we're a family. When you come here, you're well cared for. We have a mantra called valued, seen, and heard. We want every staff person that walks through the door to understand that's our goal, that you feel valued, that you feel seen, and that you feel heard. We just had today a 2-hour DEI town hall, and we had over I think it came to close to 200 people joined in. We had a robust discussion on how we as an organization are working hard to make sure we're a leader in the DEI initiatives, meaning diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have a committee that's dedicated to that, and they do a number of things to really help educate and inform all of our staff about all different types of things that are going on, because we want everybody to understand respect is at the forefront. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe, any of those things. We welcome everybody with open arms, and we respect and honor where they are in that place, and hope that they can find a lot of comfort in that when they walk through the door. So that's what we're banking on, to try to get people in the door and keep them here. But it is hard right now. It's very hard.
Yeah, that's a good retention mechanism as well, because that's all anybody ever wants. I mean, just think of yourself. You want to feel seen. You want to feel heard. You want to feel valued. When you feel valued, you're not always thinking salary. You just feel like you're making a difference. And we all want to make a difference in the world, especially in care. When you're giving care to someone else, you want to know that you're making a difference, and you do want that validation. You have that internal validation, which is good, but we also need that external validation now and then, and that you have this program is really encouraging. I love the